It's time for the B.S.ing with the Guys live podcast.
We are back at it, B.S.ing with the guys. Kristen, are you excited?
Yeah.
You look super excited. You look like you're glad to be here.
My face.
I wanted to, before we get into anything crazy, I asked you through text if you were able to watch all of that Ed, what is it, Gein? Is it how you pronounce his name? You couldn't get through it?
Gein. No, it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get what he was trying to do.
Right.
But I was just expecting more, like, creepiness, killing, wearing people, that type of stuff. Not, like, the story of, like, how he changed slasher horror films or whatever.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Did y'all watch that at all?
I know.
I have not.
Well, y'all seen, but y'all
Massacre.
seen, well, yeah, but have y'all? I'm sure y'all have seen all the hoopla going on with that new documentary on Netflix, The Monster.
I've seen Ed Gein's name popping up, but I didn't know it was a new documentary.
Yeah, it was the same guy who did that Dahmer one, which was amazing, you know. And he the second one he did was the Menendez brothers, which was another good one.
I didn't like it.
No, but it was okay. It was better than this. Like, I couldn't make it through the second episode of that Ed Gein one. It was. I'm with you. It was just all over.
I finished episode 6. Yeah. I didn't I know he ends up going to the psych ward and stuff like that, but I
didn't think there was anything that interesting about Ed Gein. Like, even just reading about him and shit. Like, he's not a very interesting man.
Very interesting.
But yeah, his crimes were a little bit off the wall, where he'd dig up bodies and
he was just a grave robber, you know.
Yeah, but you see what he was doing. He was trying to make a suit that he could wear, you know, to like be his mother and all. Like, it was weird, man.
Yeah, well, I know he had like bowls out of skulls and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
which
he would have
most
utensils
of that
from bones.
He got from like the Nazis and stuff like that. He was reading all the magazines and stuff that they found in his house from that lady.
I was looking at a historian that's followed his case, and he was talking about how that movie was so off compared to reality. Like, it was just so much embellishing, and like the story just wasn't told right. So it's crazy because it got like great views because of the hype, but it's getting terrible reviews. You know what I mean?
You talking about the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't a necrophiliac.
Ah, okay.
I don't think he did that. I don't remember ever seeing anything that he did stuff like that. And he also, they try to portray him to make you feel bad for him.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I get he had mental issues and stuff like that, but like, you were digging up bodies in the middle of the night.
They were already dead.
Skinning them.
They were already dead.
Didn't hurt anybody.
I mean, yeah, but like, what a psycho. That's what I was expecting to see more of, was that. Not Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like that.
I think it's a lot cooler if I keep him in my brain as Leatherface, so.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's the reason that's here.
Yeah. What's up, Matt? I see Matt's checking in, waving. What's going on, Matt? We see you.
What up?
Yeah, anyway, like I said, I was going to pick your brain on it because I thought it was just me at first. Like, I couldn't get through that damn series. And I'm like, man,
I was so excited for it.
Yeah, I was too. I'm like, oh, the Ed Gein thing's out. I go watch it, and I'm like, the first one, I'm like, okay, well, let me get into the second one. About midway through, I just turned it off. I was like, I can't do this shit. I'm done. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing from everybody. But
yeah, you know, the next one he's doing Lizzie Borden.
I did. Yeah, I saw that. That's such an old story. I don't know if y'all remember that Lizzie Borden.
Huge.
Yeah, it's an old freaking case, huh? So,
we can go to her house.
Yes, we can.
Paranormal investigation.
You can. We'll send you with a camera.
Go ask
by
her
yourself.
If she did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you go by yourself if you could?
No.
I mean, what do you think's gonna happen though? Nobody's ever died there, like as far as from ghost and shit, you know. I don't think.
No, I wouldn't. I believe in that stuff, so I'm not doing that by myself.
I hear you. Well, what else is going on, Brad? You remember the big Palisades fires that they had out in California at the beginning of the year, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you I don't know if you caught it, but when it was first going on, all we heard were the Democratic leaders were talking climate change.
Absolutely.
Climate change being the culprit. And Gavin Newsom himself was up there giving multiple interviews, climate change. Well, looks like they finally caught climate change. And he is also known as Jonathan. I think you pronounce it Renderknecht. Weird last name.
Renderknecht. Yeah, he's French.
Yeah, 29 years old. Turns out, also known as climate change. Uber driver out there. The damage this dude caused. I forgot about how bad it was till I started looking into it. It's over 20,000 acres burned, over 6,000 people's homes burned down. They said there was 12 confirmed deaths directly attributed to the fire, and what threw me off was that they didn't charge him for murder. That's not one of the charges that's pending, and I don't know why. Like, if they're attributing a dozen deaths to this dude, why are they only hitting him with basically arson? There's a couple other little charges here, but none of them as big as murder. And I don't know if any of y'all lawyers that we have up here right now can make any sense of it.
Well, does it say how he started the fire?
Yes, it does. What he did, let's see. I actually got it. He, looks like it. Well, thought I had it, son. Hold on. Yeah, I want to say he started it. He started a small fire shortly after, I think, midnight on January 1st, they said. Now, this was in the Santa Monica Mountains. Well, the blaze, it was initially contained, but it smoldered undetected in, like, dense vegetation and, like, roots and shit underground. And, of course, it reignited, at some point without the firefighters knowing, I guess. Right. And there was strong winds going on and all that shit. So that's how it, started. Like, he didn't go there like, I'm going to burn the Palisades down, but he did intentionally start this fire, which is proven.
And I believe he called 911, right?
Yes.
I think he made the call and left. Yes. And then when he saw the fire trucks coming back, he turned around and went back to the scene, I believe is what
he did. Yeah.
Now, is it illegal to make a campfire?
No.
But
he wasn't camping. He dropped a friend off and then decided to go somewhere. It was midnight. I think he was having a rough time or something was on his mind, and he would, he dropped his friend off and he went to get away for a minute, and then he decided to light this fire. Well, he called 911 himself. He didn't say, "Hey, I lit the fire," but he called to report it. And like Brad just mentioned, when he saw the fire trucks coming back, he turned around and went back to the scene and started making little videos of it, on his phone and shit, just enjoying what he did, I guess. And
so he just wanted to start a fire.
Yeah, he's facing federal charges of destruction of property by means of fire, which, arson, carries max penalty of 20 years. He's got some additional charges. It's potential false statements to investigators, shit like that. But like I said, nothing as big as murder or manslaughter or anything.
And it killed people?
And 12 people died. And they said directly because of what this kid did. I say kid, he's 29 years old, what this dude did.
Yeah, he needs to be charged.
Now, just so happens, he's a Democrat. Joe Biden campaign funder, he put some money into that. I'm not saying it has anything to do with him not being charged for murder in California, but, I just figured I'd throw that out there to stir the pot a little bit. But, to me, it's just odd that they got all the proof they need to say that this kid intentionally started this fire, and I don't think he was starting a campfire, Justin. But I like that. Hey, if you were his lawyer, man, I got to give it to you. Like, he was trying to camp. It was an accident, Yeah,
it got out of control and burnt 20,000 acres. Yeah, shit happens, dude. It really does.
Yeah. But I want to say they found, of course, they go through all your digital footprints and all, and on his computer or whatever, he was searching images on AI of burning cities and shit like that, where these were the images they found on his computer or phone or whatever. So apparently he had some sort of fascination with lighting.
Yeah, and I think they pinged him there, man, on his phone and all that. Of course, he was there, because he went back when the fire department arrived. So
yeah. So it's good it's good they got this little prick, but it just really blew my mind that it was fucking no murder charges when 12 people die.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Nolan said the girl seems AI. She is.
I am AI.
No girl would talk to us.
I am. No.
We got an AI her.
AI.
Anyway. So What else is in the news? They got.
Did y'all see what happened in Staten Island?
There's always something going on in Staten Island. Practical Jokers are from there.
No,
what's going on?
19-year-old kid who like decapitated his stepdad.
I heard about it.
Christ.
Yeah.
His little sister found the body.
Did he have like any, I want to say, good reason? I mean, was he like abusive, or I mean, what's going on there?
There's not really much out right now, but I saw some reports of people who knew him saying he was like troubled.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I thought maybe the stepfather was, a stepfather that you'd hear about, but
I mean, maybe they just there's not allowed on it.
Yeah, some people are just troubled, so they cut off heads.
Yeah,
I mean, it happens. Yeah, shit happens. But
it does.
We were before we got on, we were talking football, and of course, everybody's the Cardinals game that running back decides to throw the fucking ball down before he crosses the end zone. Okay, happened before. I've seen it before. I never. It blows my mind that they do that. I think they're just too worried about celebrating, before they score. Yeah, because we live in this look at me culture, and that's kind of where that stems from, I believe. But I saw the coach jumped on his shit, and then I turn around today and I see that they fined the coach $100,000 for jumping in this dude's shit for losing them the game, basically on a bonehead fumble.
Can't do that, dude. In the NFL today, no.
That blew. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, when did we start penalizing coaches for jumping on their players' shit?
I think it was because he like punched him in the chest.
Who gives a fuck? He had pads on. Fuck.
Yeah.
I was 12 getting worse beatings than that on the football field.
Yeah.
No, I knew that's what it was from, but it was like, when did that become a thing that the coach can't, I'm not saying get physical with the players as far as let's take your helmet off and we'll punch you in the face. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I seen when he kind of walked off, he hit him in his chest, which they have shoulder pads on, which covers their chest plate. So I doubt he hurt the dude.
No, I'm sure he didn't. No.
And it just blew my mind that that's where we're at nowadays, just in culture. You know what I mean? As far as there's no accountability for fucking up. For these younger people coming up, because I mean everybody in NFL. I mean it's not like they're 50-year-olds. So when I say young, I mean in their 20s. They're coming from this coddled culture to where now football coaches can't even get on your ass. I mean, mine used to grab me by the fucking face mask and he'd sling you around. You know what I mean? And get all up in your face when you fucked up, and all it did was make you do better because you don't want that no more. And I'm not saying it was right what he did, but I just thought that's how you coached football. It's a man sport. Let's face it. And
I've seen like, especially like Kelsey and the Chiefs coach, they get into it pretty good on the sidelines. So I've seen some coaches get heated, and that's the only thing I can think is the yelling and whatnot is like, hey, whatever, be a coach, and it's just because he hit him on that way out, which I'm kind of with you. I mean, it's grown man playing a grown man sport. Like, it is what it is, but
yeah, that's
the team did not think so. But I would like to see. I want to see if he gets any touches this weekend on the ball.
You think?
Benched his ass, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should have benched him, dude.
The Cardinals' number 1 and number 2 running backs are out. They're hurt. So he may be third string, and he's going to be benched for fourth string probably, if I had to guess.
Like I said, I've seen that a lot. I say a lot. I mean, it's probably a couple times a season maybe that, you see it in college too, where these guys, right before they cross that goal line, they just throw the fucking ball down.
Oh, yeah. It happened last week too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It happens more than it needs to. It shouldn't happen at all. And I mean, when you can't even go off on somebody that does that as a head coach, I mean, what kind of respect do you get from your players when you can't even reprimand them anymore? Because I'm sure this coach he's going to have to stand up, if he already didn't, in front of the whole team and apologize for what he did. And it's like, how weak does that make you as a head coach?
Yeah, because he kind of apologized in the press conference after the game, and it got a little heated. I handled it wrong. It basically there were other mistakes made and this and that, which that was a terrible game. There were some other mistakes made, but
Yeah, well, that was the biggest one apparently. That at least the one that stood out to everybody, because didn't they lose by like 1 point?
Yeah, it was a close game, but I mean they also got an interception which they fumbled into the end zone, and the Titans picked it up for a touchdown. And it was a non-contact fumble. Like he caught the interception, fell to the ground for whatever reason, just slung the fucking ball, and then somebody else kicked it. It flew into the end zone, and then the Titans picked it up and scored.
Yeah, and then the quarterback's getting knocked out by
the ball,
fucking snap. Yeah,
fucking long snap to the face.
Fucking dummies. Anyway, I seen. Let's see. That was going. Just pulling up, seeing what we got going on crazy in the news right now.
Did you see Trevor Lawrence get stepped on? With
no.
Like 40 seconds left in the game. They were at the goal line and fucking. He hiked the ball and the lineman stepped on him. So Trevor Lawrence fell and hit the ground and he had to like scramble away. He got the touchdown. Like he wound up like getting it together and scored the game winning touchdown. But oh my God, that was a mess too.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't watch, man. Look, if I don't see the highlights, I can't do that shit no more, man, with the NFL. I've tried, but it's been a couple years since I really got into it. I just can't. Yeah. And I see everybody still throwing a fit over this Bad Bunny idiot that's wanting everybody to learn Spanish or whatever, so we can understand what he's saying at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'll be tuned in, dude. I can't wait, dude. Yeah. I'll be
dude. Yeah. I think a lot of people will, whether they're excited about it or not. I think a lot of people will, just to kind of see what all the hype's about, and probably some people are going to be hoping that he fucks up or does bad or something,
right?
So you're going to have a lot of hate watching going on. So the ratings are going to be there, and the NFL is going to look at it like, see, what's the problem? We had so many millions of people tuning in, but I mean, I think it's just people wanting. Hopefully, they'll see a shit show. But I'm just thinking, it's kind of a crazy thing to say when you're over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in America.
Yeah.
And your response is basically learn fucking Spanish. And it's like, fuck off. How about that?
So say fuck him, yeah.
To be honest, like, aside from women, who watches the halftime show at the Super Bowl?
Nobody, unless it's like a
sits there and is like, oh, y'all shut up. Halftime show's on. Shut up.
No, it'd have to be a pretty big band, like like you said, for men to get involved in it, because most of it's not. It's set up for women, man. It's a big production. There's fucking dancers and shit in the background, just all kind of lights and all this dumb shit going on. So I'm with you. They turned it into where it's just a show, I guess. But I guess part of what they're trying to do though is attract different crowds, basically.
Sure.
They want
it's
that
the wussification, dude.
Right, and they want the women. That's why they were stuck on that Taylor Swift shit for so long, because they knew that brought a whole new audience to the NFL. This Bad Bunny guy, they're not dumb. He's probably big in another country, if not multiple countries around the world. So that brings his audience,
Right.
Because I think the NFL, they want to be soccer so bad that they try these things like that. They don't give a shit if it pisses off the American market, because that's not what they're going after anymore. They've got that.
No,
they're going after these world views. And from a business standpoint, I don't blame them. I mean, why not expand if you can? It just sucks when you start seeing these organizations like that forget what made them what they are,
Ain't that the truth?
Which one of them goes back to what we were talking about, where the coaches can't even fucking, jump in the shit of a player anymore without worrying about being fined, So
it is. It's the wussification, man, of football, dude. It really is. It's not the same. It's not like when we were growing up, and it's totally different now.
Brad said the wussification of football. Did y'all see the roughing the passer call on the Saints?
Oh, I actually did see that.
Legit sacked him. Like, he sacked the quarterback. Dude still had the ball. He didn't throw it. Like, it was a sack.
Yeah, it was a sack. So
roughing the passer.
What was there? Not that the officials ever have to give an excuse, but did anybody even try to justify it at all?
No, I mean, even the announcers were like, roughing the what? What the fuck? It was nowhere even close to.
No, when I saw the play. It was just he tackled him. I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
They need to start putting
Put a
flags
pillow
on these.
down.
Well, they need to put flags on these quarterbacks then. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can't touch them. So just put flags on them. Let people pull their fucking flag and they're sacked. I mean, I don't know what else to. How do you stop what that guy did when he tackled him? Like that's called a tackle. There was nothing. It wasn't a headshot or anything like that. So if you can't tackle the basic textbook tackle, then what's the point of even allowing them to touch the quarterback? The way I see it.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. It like put a time limit on how long you have to throw the ball, and if you don't do it by then, it's down. You're sacked.
Yeah.
You know? It's
like a shot clock. You get
dude.
You get like 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds. Once that clock goes off, boom, end of down. There you go.
Play's done.
I like that. Yeah, that's what we need. A shot clock in the NFL for the quarterback. And I get why they're so protective of the quarterbacks, because most of the time that's the face of the franchise. You know, so I do get it, but you sure do hamstring these defensive players, you know?
Absolutely. Because, like, Uncle Joe says it was helmet to helmet, light contact, and their helmets did touch, but he didn't, smoke him in the side of the fucking head, you know? Like, it wasn't. It was nothing crazy where it was just like, oh my God, he tried to kill that quarterback.
No, and you can see that in real time, because I know a lot of times they give the ref a break because they're like, well, you know, in the moment, the action, you know, you're trying to make a judgment call, but it's like that shit was very obvious that there was no intent as far as to try to hurt the guy. There was no, just like you said, no major head collision. Like, it was just a basic tackle, and the officials should be able to see that at the speed of the game. If not, then you don't need to be out there officiating a game. Right. I mean, get another fucking job. It's it doesn't have to be an easy job. It's a job. Get it done.
That's it.
So anyway, I seen that one. I didn't watch, like I said, I didn't watch any games, but I saw these bullshit highlights, and I forgot about that one with the Saints game until you brought it up. But I remember watching it, like, what the fuck? Like, I haven't seen football in a while. I'm like, did they take tackling away? Like, did I miss that?
It's next.
It's coming next. I tell you, put flags on them. They don't even, quarterback don't even need pads. Let them get out there in a wife beater and some shorts, and let them go at it. Put some flags on his little belt and have at it, man. Yeah. Fuck it.
St. Charles says that they can't even work the play clock correctly. And Trevor Lawrence was having issues working the fucking play clock last Monday night. It was terrible. They had to call at least one timeout because he had a second left, and then they're in the red zone, and he gets fucking delay of game because he didn't even look at the play clock. It was right in front of him, off to his right, and not once did he ever look at it. Ran out of time, delay a game, backed them up. Like I said, it was a goofy week of football, but.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that, man, I couldn't get away from the belief that somehow, some way, these games are, I don't want to say, I guess I'll say fixed for lack of a better term, but they are. I remember, and we might have brought it up episodes ago, but that famous fucking Saints game stopped them basically from going to the Super Bowl that year with that blatant pass interference, that no call. Yeah. Now, everybody in the world, even people on the opposing team, admitted that shit was interference. They reviewed that shit and still upheld the no call. So that right there just kind of let me know for sure that when they want a game to go a certain way, it's the official's job to do that, because you can't argue with the official's call. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. We've said that before, that if you talk bad about an official, you get fined. Nobody can question them. Nobody can say anything negative about them. So that kind of turns me off of watching that shit too. I just think there's so much money involved in it, in football, that it's got to be somewhat controlled environment. You know what I mean? I don't think they can just let them teams go out there and just have a fucking free-for-all. I just don't think that's what you do, because it's a business. You know what I mean? It's a business, and I think they know what's going to benefit their business better than, the alternative. Now, some people say there's too many players involved for something like that to happen, and I get that. I don't even think it's the players. I think the officials control the game. In all sports. All they got to do is, because there's so many judgment calls when it comes to penalties. That's one way to do it. It's like they say they can call holding on every single fucking play if they want to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then when you see, just blatant no calls, or like that shit against the Saints the other day where there was no way that was roughing the passer, but they throw shit like that, So I don't know. It all kind of just gave me a little sour taste for it. And I used to love the game, man. I used to sit Sundays, all fucking Sunday long, watching that shit, man. And then I'm like, this is it's like fucking WWE now.
Yeah.
So.
They need to go back to the NFL, which is not for long. Spearing, total like Roman shit, dude. Roman Coliseum shit. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's where
Steel curtain days, man.
Yeah, Mean Joe Greens and all. Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Quarterbacks, they didn't stand a chance. You watch some of them old highlights, dude. They didn't stand a fucking chance. They would knock your ass out and stand over you and taunt your ass, And no flag was thrown. The ref would just kind of come up like, move,
Yes.
Nowadays, you look at them wrong. There comes a flag, taunting.
Yeah. Used to be like the UFC football, was the UFC of today, dude. It was just, just headhunters, dude. Just now, crazy.
Everything's taunting.
It's the wussification, dude. It's here, dude. So
which, I guess they got to calm down the little celebrating a little bit, because people start to celebrate before they even get in the end zone. So that's not very good.
I liked it, dude, when they pulled out the Sharpie or the cell phone from the sock, dude, and made the call, dude.
Just Joe Horn, man.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah, but at least score first and then celebrate. Don't throw the fucking ball down before you get in the end zone.
So true.
Somebody said
just like the game.
Put it in their contracts that if they don't hand the ball back to the ref, it's like you're losing $100K this game, or if you don't fucking get the ball past the fucking field goal, you getting fined $50K.
Yeah, before you drop the damn thing. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Anyway, did you see somebody that caught Josh Allen's ball and fucking dipped?
Yeah, I saw that. He stuck it over his shirt and he was like, "I'm out of this bitch." I guess the officials were going to want it back.
Oh yeah, they want him back.
Yeah, fuck
no,
that.
Matt, we're not getting soft. We are soft. This country has just become soft, Not me per se, but I'm just saying, dude,
Damn right. Oh, what else, man? I know it's been talked about over and over and over, this Charlie Kirk stuff, but did you see the newest shit that Candice Owens is dropping that seems to be legit, because the people at Charlie Kirk's, little Turning Point USA are saying that it was legit text messages from Charlie Kirk. I don't know if y'all, you didn't see any of them?
None of them.
Well, let's pull.
I heard about it.
Let's see all it does really, it ties all of that Israel stuff back into Charlie Kirk's death. Which people were calling her crazy for saying, but it's starting to kind of look a little odd, man. They this was a text message. It was he was talking to like 9 people. It was like a little team chat they were having or whatever, and Charlie Kirk, one of the text messages he sent was, "I just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year, because we won't cancel Tucker," meaning Tucker Carlson, of course. And he says, "I'm thinking of inviting Candice." So they don't show who he's talking to, but then somebody was like, basically don't do that, because I don't think they wanted Candice to be involved anymore for whatever reasons, because people were looking at her like, I guess she was nuts back then, but for whatever reason, they didn't want Candice there. Now, he went on to text again, "Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and I will not be bullied like this. They're leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause," which is what Candice has been harping the entire time, that he was starting to be a little less pro-Israel, and Israel wasn't liking that, because they were offering him money that he was turning down.
Money.
Right.
Yeah, big money.
Big money.
Yeah.
So, of course, everybody's like, you can't believe these messages are real and this, that, and other. And so, like I said, they've got with the spokesperson from Turning Point USA, which is Charlie Kirk's little foundation that he had, or whatever you call it. But he came out and said, "Yes, those are legit. I screenshot them myself and sent them to the government." Now, how Candice Owens got them, anybody's guess. I guess she's got informants or people that'll leak shit to her. But So it seems to be that these messages are legit.
Right.
So then it opened up the real question of, did they have something to do with killing that man? And is this Tyler Robinson a pawn in this game? You know, did he have anything to do with it?
Yeah, and we brought that up before, that he could have been a pawn, you know, and yeah, I think there's more to it, man. I think you got to look deep, man, into the Jews.
Well, and it's I know Netanyahu, you know, he didn't hesitate to come out multiple times saying that Israel had nothing to do with it. And
right.
I questioned that before, saying why did he feel so inclined to have to do that? He figured he'd have other shit to worry about. Like, look, I'll tell you one time we had nothing to do with it. I'm done. You know what I mean? But that's not the case. He was adamant that he had to let you know for some reason. I don't know. Just starting to be strange now. Yeah, it's starting to be real strange. Where first I was even blowing Candice off as, you know, come on now, girl, you're doing this shit for clicks. You know, you're getting a little crazy now. And then all of a sudden she starts dropping these damn screenshots of these text messages that, you know, kind of shows that Kirk was turning, you know, as far as his support for Israel. And I guess Israel didn't like that. So, you know, they said he was being blackmailed, you know, by the Jewish donors, which is what he's kind of saying in those text messages.
And it's true. I mean, if you read some of the articles, man, where it was a month before he was invited up to the Hamptons, and I think I said this on a couple of podcasts before. He was invited up to the Hamptons to a guy named Bill Ackman, which is a big Zionist Jew in my mind, billionaire, and basically offered Kirk Turning Point $150 million to be more kindly to the Jews, and he said, no, I'm not interested. So of course, from what the article said, that he even got the invite from Bibi Netanyahu to come visit me in Israel, and he turned that down. So it's just like I said, it's a big conspiracy too, man. But I think there's more to it, man. I really do.
Well, let me ask you this: why was it so important to Israel that Charlie Kirk be on their side?
Right. Well, I think I don't think it's just Charlie Kirk in general. I just don't think the whole Jewish establishment wants any type of bad press about them. And I think if you look deep, and I'm not criticizing the Jewish religion as a whole. Sure. But I think we've talked off air about it. Yeah. You know, if it's Orthodox or Chabon or whatever they call themselves. I think it's more than just say they don't want the whole their type being criticized upon. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I guess what piques my curiosity is that Tucker Carlson has been on that shit himself. This kind of anti-Israel stuff. Candice was kind of there, so I'm like, why Charlie Kirk if it comes out that Israel had something to do with it? You know, that's the only thing that kind of. Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of shies me away, you know, from that, you know, makes, you know, as far as believing that the Israel, you know, spin on it. Now, the more Candice starts to expose, the more it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe there is something to this. But then I always go back to why Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, right. You know, why not Nick Fuentes? You know, I mean, he's always been.
Yeah, that's another one, dude. Yeah.
You know, so like if you were going to silence a voice, that would be the one, you know.
You would think, because he'd go at
him.
him.
Who that was?
Who, Fuentes?
Charlie Kirk was, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know, or you still don't?
I mean, I know who the Nick guy is now, but
okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he but they did, you can guarantee you, because he was a big voice, and he was more brash than Charlie Kirk. All Charlie Kirk was doing behind the scenes was kind of distancing himself from Israel. He wasn't just out there blasting them, you know, screaming from the mountaintops, fuck Israel and shit like that. So that's kind of why, like I said, I go to that, you know, why him if they were involved? Like, what did they have so much against him? Yeah. So I don't know. It just makes you kind of like, you know, maybe not. But then, like I said, man, Candice, she's claiming she has evidence that he was and said that he was in fear of his life because of Israel, and she claims she's about to drop that proof too. Now, people called her crazy before until she dropped those text messages. So, you know, she seems like what she says, she backs up. You know, she might do it in her own time. It's like she lets all the idiots and naysayers, you know, pile up, and then boom, here's my evidence, and then they all have to go, oh shit, you know, damn. maybe she was right. So maybe, she might be doing that again because she claims she's got some evidence, like I said, that's going to, show that he was in fear of Israel. So I don't know. It's a crazy story, man. I thought it was over, honestly, as far as
it's not.
Because I was blowing it off as nuts too when I started hearing all this shit over and over and over about Israel, and I'm thinking, man, there's nothing to that. It was just some rogue idiot that decided he didn't like Charlie Kirk for whatever reasons, and I don't know. It's got me back, kind of wondering.
Yeah. It'll be another rabbit holes to go down. Yeah, dude.
Keep you busy for a while for sure.
Absolutely. And we'll probably never know the whole truth about it,
Yeah.
No. You're right.
Have y'all heard anything from the NHS of the UK?
No.
No? All right. So see where we're at on this stance here, right? So they've since retracted this, but the NHS has faced significant backlash for its guidance on the benefits of first cousin marriage, which was withdrawn shortly after publication. The guidance published by the NHS England's genomics education program suggested that first cousin marriages could offer, quote, stronger extended family support systems and economic advantages. However, it also acknowledged the increased risk of certain genetic conditions among children of related parents. The guidance sparked outrage, with the UK Health Secretary Wes Streeting calling the advice shocking and unsafe. The guidance was removed from the NHS website within 48 hours of publication.
So they're not going to let first cousins marry?
Well, they're just not going to recommend it.
Oh, but you can do it.
I guess you can.
What's up with America, dude? When are we gonna? Because I don't think you can do that here, can you?
I mean, not no more.
So. Not in all states.
Isn't that dangerous, though? I mean, isn't that close enough as far as inbreeding?
Well, that's what everybody was like. What the fuck? So. They even said it. They were like, we do understand that there are, higher genetic risks with, your offspring, but the family support and economic benefits outweigh
basically
risk.
The person that wants this is either fucking their cousin or wants to. That's all there is to it. So they're like, look,
just trying to make it legit, dude.
We need to make this okay,
Yeah. You don't know. I'm deep, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny. That wasn't even in Alabama over here, was it? It was over there in the UK.
In the UK, dude.
Alabama.
I figured some shit Alabama was pushing. Sorry, anybody out there in Alabama.
The Whitakers.
Yeah,
the Whitakers.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the UK soon if they let the fucking
that's not first cousin shit. That's like brother sister shit going on there, dude.
That's mama, son, daddy, daughter, cousin. Yeah.
That's
my favorite one is the one that barks all the time. That's all he does.
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Just show the UK that like this is what's gonna happen. You keep letting these cousins fuck each other.
So true.
Yeah, you had to bring that up, didn't you, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, my boy, Uncle Diddy.
Yep.
Uncle Diddy.
50 months.
Yeah.
For some reason, he wants to serve his sentence at Fort Dix, of all places. I don't know why. I guess it's, according to his lawyers, it's he can preach better for there, like as far as, I guess now he's going to be an advocate for not breaking the fucking law or something. I don't know.
Do they have oil?
They do.
I bet you they sell oil on the commissary, dude.
Yeah.
But as far as the sentencing, I mean, what y'all think? Fair? Harsh? What do you got?
I don't really know much about that whole situation.
He just got sentenced for like moving prostitutes around, right?
That was it. That was all he got found guilty of, basically, was flying these prostitutes over state lines, and
was there anything with like kids involved?
No.
So,
no, it was all willing participants as far as what he was guilty of. You know what I mean? All he's found guilty of is the prostitution stuff.
Right.
I never understood that. Like prostitutes?
As far as what don't you understand?
Why it's illegal? Like
right. It's a victimless. It's a victimless crime. You're right. I mean, that's what I was kind of getting to with the Diddy thing. You know, it's like technically he was flying people in that were willing to be flown over there to make money.
Right.
And the people that were enjoying these people's services were doing it, you know, because they chose to do it. He was never found guilty of forcing people to do anything.
Right.
Right.
So
it's just because money's involved, which, I mean, if we're being honest, like if I quit my job tomorrow and quit bringing home money, well, my wife probably wouldn't touch me for a little while after either, you know?
so there you go. So every woman's in one way or another.
That's
now,
it,
I saw
you know?
that hotel footage with that girl.
Well, that's
I
different.
didn't
Now,
really
see,
like that.
right. So that puts it in a different light to some people that he deserves as much punishment as he can get, because
But
he
that's
did
not
seem
the
like a
charge.
piece of shit. Right. But that's not what he was found guilty on. So if we're just going by his guilt as far as in the court's eyes, I think they should have gave him time served, let that man go back to his business.
Too.
You
Because,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I get it, like he was a piece of shit, but if we change the you know, if we start changing the path to where it's like, okay, well, you weren't convicted of this, right? We got you on the lesser charges, but we're still going to punish you because you're a piece of shit, because we brought you in here on the bigger charges.
Right.
So that's how we're going to punish you.
Well, we'd all
then
be
you
in
start
fucking
really,
prison.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And look, the judge could have gave him more because the prosecution wanted double-digit years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, wasn't he facing up to 20 years or
that's
something?
what I'm
for this
saying. So
bullshit?
technically he got some leniency, but I was thinking time served once I found out what he was found guilty on. And I'm like, it's prostitution. I mean, you know, it's such a bullshit. Like Kristen said, I mean, it's such a bullshit crime. You know?
It's the world's oldest profession, dude. You know?
Yeah, and look,
and it's legal in some states, and you know.
Well, and honestly, nobody wants their family member out there prostituting, but
no, not at all.
But it's not, you know, if you're an escort, you're not being forced to do that shit. Now I know there's some women that are out there caught in these situations where they have these pimps and all that shit, but
yeah.
In a situation like what Diddy was doing, I mean, he was, flying people over and paying good money for them to come over there and piss on his nipples or whatever they were doing over there, you know, whatever weird shit he was into. Yeah. I mean, hey, look, everybody's got a little nut, you know, everybody's a little crazy. He was just a little more, you know, he was out there, but so I don't know, man. Yeah, I thought it was kind of strange.
Did
it's
he
like
ask Trump for a pardon?
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean, everybody's a fan of Trump. Once,
I think Trump mentioned
prison.
something about pardoning him, man. I want to say Trump mentioned something like that, but yeah, will he do it?
He?
Probably not. I don't think he did. No, you know.
Well, no, I don't think he did.
No, he hasn't.
You know who he did pardon, which I want to get your opinions on it, is Ross Ulbricht, right? And so Ross is the founder of the original Silk Road. And for those that don't know what it is,
which I'm one of them,
was an underground black market on the dark web that you could get on and you could buy.
Yes, I know.
Basically,
who you're
any
talking about.
drug that you wanted, right? You could just order it off that website using Bitcoin. You could order, credit cards, credit card numbers, identities.
Right.
Like it was just a black market for anything except for hitmen and children, right?
Damn.
So Ross got arrested because he was caught up in a conspiracy where he was trying to hire a hitman to kill an associate of his that he believed was ratting him out to the feds. So he wound up getting a bunch of time for that. He wound up getting a bunch of time for another attempted hit that he was trying to hire for. He wound up getting a bunch of time for, drug trafficking and yada, yada, conspiracy and whatever, right? And so on January 22nd, 2025, Trump granted a full pardon to Ross. So he served 10 years in prison for all of that before he was pardoned by Trump. So I don't understand why somebody like that would be pardoned. I guess.
I was going to say, what grounds did he have to pardon him on? Like, what kind of ties did he have to Trump?
Well, it just says Donald Trump granted a full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, the founder of Silk Road, on January 22nd, 2025, fulfilling a promise made to libertarian supporters during his campaign. So
he's some kind of hero to the libertarians.
Yeah, it says announced the pardon during his first days in office, stating that Albright had been treated unfairly and labeling those who convicted him as scum involved in the weaponization of the government against him. Trump had previously expressed support for Albright during his campaign, appealing to libertarian voters who viewed Albright as a political prisoner.
And what did they find him guilty of, you said?
So he was found guilty on basically trying to hire a hitman.
So I guess Trump's saying that it was bullshit charges. I mean, there's no other reason to really
much, but it's all like well documented. I mean, there's multiple documentaries you can watch on it. It's well documented because the hitman that he was trying to hire was an undercover FBI agent.
Well, fuck, that's all. I mean, cut and dry.
And then he tried to hire another hitman to kill the original hitman because the dude that he was trying to get hit the first time was in prison. He didn't know it. But the dude was in prison, so the FBI got him out of prison. They staged a murder scene and sent him photos. And he paid, I mean, it was like $250,000 he paid to this hitman, right? And then he was under the impression that the original hitman was extorting him, basically, and was going to tell on him. So then he hired a second hitman to take out the first hitman.
Well, I mean, what else would you do?
As well.
Yeah.
And then he actually did get extorted by two of the police officers. Two of the detectives that were working on it made fake Silk Road accounts and started extorting Ross without, informing their higher ups. And they're in prison as well.
That's capitalism, man. You know?
At its finest, huh?
Kind of
Crazy.
hoping you would have said the Tiger King.
Yeah, no, he's not pardoning Tiger King.
No.
But he might as well. I mean, if you're pardoning people that were hiring hitmen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let Joe out, man. Free Joe Exotic.
I think Joe needs to be out immediately if Ross is out.
Yeah. Now, speaking of getting out, man, did you see they let that animal out that broke into that home in Kentucky and stabbed that 6-year-old boy to death? Did you?
Yeah, they paroled him, huh?
Yeah. They let this son of a bitch out of prison because they got him on, I don't know, I think it was manslaughter or something, it wasn't like full-fledged, first-degree murder.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, I don't know if y'all saw the dad's response.
Oh, yeah.
The father said, I had my talks with God. I told the court, if I ever cross paths with him, I will kill the man. I will kill him where he stands, was what the dad said.
Can you blame him?
TV interview. No, but it's just a shame that, man, this dude broke into the house, assaulted the family, wound up stabbing the 6-year-old. They said it was so violent that the knife was bent from the kid's skull. You know what I mean? And then they let this fucking animal out. He was sentenced to 20 years in 2018.
And he just got out? 7 years?
Got out.
Who was his lawyer?
Oh, my
God. Man.
No, they need to die, too.
It's terrible. That's what I mean. Now, somebody, we touched on that with the last episode with these, pedophiles and shit. When somebody like that animal, yes, he's an animal. He's a fucking a feral animal, and somebody defended that dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now, if he commits another fucking crime, whoever defended that dude and got him a lenient sentence, or whoever paroled this guy, or whatever the fuck reason they let him out, needs to be held accountable. Because that guy should have never saw the light of day. Like, how do you murder a child?
And then you do that, and there's people sitting in jail for 25 years for weed.
Drugs. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
100% right.
Yeah, that was disgusting when I saw
Where
that.
Was that at?
Somewhere in Kentucky. I don't know what district or what city. I don't know if it's a blue city. I mean, most of the time, it's Democrat-run places that you see stories like that. So I don't know. I'm just assuming, but it's like no matter where it is, how the hell does that sit right with anybody, man? Because I didn't hear about the story. Apparently, it wasn't a nationwide thing. You just heard about. You heard about it after the fact, as far as them letting this guy out of prison. But I started reading the case and all, and what this guy did, and I'm thinking, good God, they're letting this animal walk the streets. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh,
paroled and paroled. It wasn't like he served his time. They
right.
sat in front of a fucking parole board and were like, yeah, I think, I think he's good. And
He's
it
reformed.
was,
Yeah.
he was considered a non-violent offender. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Because he was only convicted of second-degree assault. The murder didn't count because he was, quote, not guilty by reason of insanity. So he was labeled as non-violent. So when, of course, goes up for parole, I guess that's all they're looking at. They're not using their fucking common sense and say, well, I don't care what he's listed as. He stabbed a 6-year-old to death. And they let this animal out. And I like what the father said. If I see him, he's dead.
Yep.
I hope he
Fair
does.
enough.
I hope
he does too. I hope he runs into him, and then hopefully he's in front of a decent jury that lets the man walk.
because that's
He'll
crazy.
probably get fucked. He'll probably get screwed in that situation because he's already stated what he plans on doing, so he can't even say it was
warned
heat of the
him.
moment. He shouldn't have said a word. He should have just waited, found the dude, slit his fucking throat, and what happens. And hey, I was the rage. I was in a fit of rage. I couldn't help it. I would plead insane then, just like this animal got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots, man. I can't believe that shit.
That's
So anyway, that one got me fired up. That was disgusting.
It's crazy. It really
I know.
is.
I know, man. It is nuts. And then, of course, I'm seeing it every time we get on here. When I say on here, I mean YouTube stream, and people in the comments, they want to bring up J6. Every time they think they're taking shots at the right side, they want to bring up J6. Well, then I'm seeing that the FBI basically is coming out and saying that now they're showing the American public how Pelosi blocked orders for the National Guard. They're showing receipts for all of this now, which has been said for a while that, he offered 10,000 National Guards. This bitch turned it down. She was filming a documentary while all the chaos was unfolding. So it's like they wanted this. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
There were 250 FBI agents in those crowds, which some of them, it was proven, were provoking that shit, and then a lot of them didn't even want to be there. They weren't trained for that. That's what Kash Patel was saying, that the FBI, they're not trained for riot control. That's not what they do. You know what I mean? So that was the government's answer to try and keep violence from happening, was to throw a bunch of these FBI agents out there, and like I said, no telling how many were out there provoking this shit, because you can tell it's all adding up to them Democrats wanted that shit to happen that day. Yeah. They were encouraging something like that to happen, and it probably didn't get as bad as what they really wanted it to get, because I mean, when you're sitting there offered help, Trump's like, hey, look, we got 10,000 National Guards just in case things get out of hand. No, we don't want that.
We don't want it. Right.
Yeah. And then that's what happens.
Is that what this ex-FBI, the head of the FBI guy was in court today for?
Comey?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's not related?
No. Let's see. Let me see. I just read about that the other day, and I forget what.
I saw he pled not guilty, but it just said that he pled not guilty to lying to Congress.
Yeah, well, let's see what he's formally being. All right, 2 felony charges related to his 2020 testimony before this Senate Judiciary
lying
Committee.
under oath. Yeah.
Sorry, he pleaded not guilty to both counts and was released. So, what was he lying about? So, prosecutors allege Comey lied to Congress about authorizing the leak of information to the media, specifically regarding memos he wrote about interactions with then President Donald Trump. This stems from discrepancies noted in the 2018 Justice Department Inspector General report. Obstruction of Congress is another one. The accusation that Comey obstructed the committee's investigation into Russian election interference by misleading lawmakers about his actions. So he was one of the pieces of shit, basically behind all of this Russiagate stuff, know, and which has been proven to be just a blatant fucking lie. It was totally fabricated, and everybody involved in that should be held accountable. That's meddling in the election. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same shit they accused the other side of doing, they were doing the entire fucking time. And it's been proven now. It's been proven. Now, he faces up to 5 years per count. Will he serve a day in jail? I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. But, I guess it's all we can do is hope maybe that some kind of justice is served. I don't think the man will spend a day in jail. I think it's kind of more of a show with politics still saying, hey, look, we're prosecuting him, we're trying, but I just can't see them actually convicting him of anything, because it's almost like he knows it, because he's too snarky about everything.
Right.
He's a smart ass when it comes to all of the stuff that goes on with Trump, and I think he knows he's untouchable.
Yes.
So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong.
Wasn't he the one that took the picture of on the beach with the seashells,
and stuff? They just happened to be,
It just happened to wash up on shore. And
that was that asshole. That's what I mean. He was, he's a smart ass with all of it, and it's almost like, because like I said, I think he knows they're not going to do shit to me. I'm covered, kind of like Anthony Fauci, he's protected. He'll never.
It's another one.
Yeah, another piece of shit that'll never ever have to face any kind of consequences for what he did to the American people.
What up?
And it just shows you how deep it is. It just shows you how deep it is, man. It's not just Comey. It's like, I think it's Obama, Hillary, Comey, Brennan, Clapper. All of these guys are involved. And look, maybe they'll shed some light on it, man. And will any of them be held accountable? Probably not, dude. Probably not.
Thanks, Obama.
I hope. Yeah.
What'd you say, Justin?
Thanks, Obama.
It's playing everything Obama. That's what they do now with Trump. Fuck it.
It's
fucking
all
Obama.
Trump's
Yeah, fucking Obama, man.
Yeah.
What else going on crazy? I seen
which
go ahead. The Florida firefighter, the lady who decided to throw 75 red stained tampons on her ex-boyfriend's yard. So that was one way to
only in Florida, dude.
Yeah, this is how you do it. Yeah, she let's see. A Florida firefighter is in hot water after she allegedly chucked 75 red stained tampons onto the yard of where her ex-boyfriend lives with his new chick. She didn't like that.
Yeah. No.
28-year-old
arrested?
Orange County Fire Rescue was allegedly caught on surveillance video driving up to her ex's home around 10 o'clock, September 29th, dumping a bunch of tampons on his yard. And they allegedly, jealous ex was arrested and pleaded not guilty. I didn't do it.
Why was she arrested?
For stalking. 2 counts of misdemeanor stalking. So
I was going to say littering or something.
Littering, dirty ass tampons all over.
As I was saying, like, we roll houses out here. I don't know if that's a nationwide thing, but
I don't understand why that. Let's go dump some. She had to have a friend involved in this to say, "Hey, girl, you know what you need to do."
Oh yeah,
right.
Because it wasn't. Look, they're not even saying they were used tampons; they were just stained red. Right. So. Apparently they just got a bunch of tampons and dipped them in some kind of red liquid and said, let's go throw it all over his yard. I mean, I don't know why that's what you would think to do, but that's what she thought to do. Didn't work out too well. I guess she's lucky it's just misdemeanors, but yeah.
She'll be back.
The bitch is crazy. She's not giving up. Not giving up that easy. They're going to have to hit her with a couple felonies before she quits.
Did y'all see those 2 girls who died subway surfing?
I kind of saw the headline of that. I was like, "Oh shit! How old were those?
I think
were
12
those girls?
and 13.
One was 12.
Oh man! And what is the sub? Is it technically what I'm thinking, where they get on top of these subway cars and actually try to stand up and ride these things?
Yeah.
I saw 2 videos, and one they were over the subway, standing on I guess there's platform. I've never been in a fucking subway, but like the food place I have, but not the there's platforms, I guess, that the trains run under. So they were standing up there. And then another video they shot laying on the tracks underneath the train. So you could see the bottom of the train as it was passing by. So I don't know how they died or what they did, but
these kids got to calm down with wanting these TikTok views, man.
Yeah.
Because they said,
I saw people blaming it on the media.
On the what?
Anybody dumb enough to go and stand on top of a train or stand under a train.
Blaming it on the what, though?
It's not social media.
You cut out when you said blaming it on. You see
social
people blame.
media.
Oh. Well, I mean, what else would it be?
That's not a trend.
That's what they're calling it in the news.
Though.
The news is calling it a viral trend that says they lost 5 people to that dumb shit this year. Now,
It
So
was a big
something's
app.
making these kids do that shit.
Y'all never
I
played
mean,
Subway Surfer?
Yeah, I did. Is it even available anymore?
I think so. Yeah.
Everything's a
Guess it's the
social
game.
media trend with these kids. Everything.
Everything.
I
It
haven't
is.
seen that trend, and I don't know anybody
No.
dumb enough to participate in that trend.
Well, apparently there's five. Well, five
I've
that
seen
didn't make
a
it.
few videos of people riding on top of trains and shit, and they'll get taken out by a sign or a light or something.
Right.
You know.
Well, they said in 2023, 5 people were killed doing it, and in 24, 6 people were killed.
That's crazy.
I mean, so apparently it's a thing, but I don't know, man. And look, can't say I wouldn't have been that dumb at 12. Maybe they could have talked me into it, but man,
Absolutely not.
I don't know if you
But-
could have talked me into laying down in the middle of the train tracks and like
no.
just letting the
No.
train go over. Now, I mean, if it was going slow enough, I might have hopped on and rode it for a little bit, but
Yeah, and like I said, I blame it all on, the social media clout simply because whatever they were doing, they were filming, and they were filming
Sure.
for a
Absolutely.
reason.
Yeah,
They were
absolutely.
filming for a reason. It was to put it on fucking social media. So to me, that's why I say it stems from that shit, because it's anything for views nowadays, and these young kids get caught up in that shit. They may do something that's a little bit crazy, and they get a reaction online. So then it's like, well, what next? What can I do now? Because they get that hit of adrenaline and dopamine from all the likes and the comments and shit. And it's a dangerous drug, man. It's a dangerous drug. You start getting that like you said, that attention, and you're watching these numbers go up, and then you just want more and more and more, and that's what these young people get involved in. It's just they do dumb shit to accomplish it now.
Yeah, I mean,
And then, like I said, wasn't like we were much better. I mean, we grew up on Jackass. I mean, look what they were doing.
Yeah.
We just didn't have social media to really go out and mimic what they were doing and post it all over the place. We just didn't have that, so we just sat back and watched it for the most part. But had there been social media, we'd have probably all been out there pushing each other around in shopping carts and running in the fucking walls with them, and doing whatever them idiots were doing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to be too hard on the kids. I just simply say they need to fucking, stop
Chill.
doing dumb shit for TikTok. That's all there is to it.
yeah, I mean, rip, but like, really?
Yeah, do
What are
some
we doing?
dances, just do
Yeah.
dances or something, man. Stop all the subway surfing. It's not cool. Get you killed. It'll get you
will
killed.
get you killed.
Speaking of idiots for fucking views, did you see that dumbass riding around sticking people with a fucking hypodermic needle?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Just doing this shit for views. Now there was nothing in it, but man, somebody walk up to you and sticks you with one of them needles, man. That'll get you killed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I have a
Yeah.
right to do whatever I need to do now. You stuck me with a fucking weapon. I mean, and you talk about scare the shit out of you because you don't know what the fuck's in that needle. If it's some crazy ass person that's injecting people with HIV, which has happened before, but I'm thinking, man, what goes through people's mind to get likes on fucking social media?
I guess I'm asking, was it a new needle every time, or was he sticking this one and then say, hey, let me go stick that one? And it's
That
like,
I'd
freak the
really
fuck out.
know. Yeah, I would too, because no matter if he intentionally put something in it, which it doesn't seem like he did that, but I'm with you. If he used it on multiple people,
Can you imagine? Yeah.
well, they sentenced his ass to 6 months in prison. They arrested him for it.
Oh.
So he
Well,
did get
good.
some jail time, but I'm like, man, these people just for fucking videos, man.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know what crosses your mind. Like, why that of all things? I'm gonna run around, and it's not a kid looking at the video. It's not a
What was
child. Where he said?
No, what was it?
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna show you. It is. Let me share this with you here, and you can see for yourself what I'm talking about.
I don't know. People are stupid.
Yeah, well, that they are. People
I
are
don't get
stupid.
it.
But all right. So
Yeah.
this is what this clown was doing. Now he didn't stick them, but you watch. He clearly. This is where it starts. But poked him in the back of that arm with that thing. See, I mean, it's not a child doing this shit.
No.
So he didn't have youth as an excuse.
I don't even know how that's funny, dude. I
That's
just
what I
don't
mean.
even.
To me,
I don't see no humor in that, dude.
none
Where was
whatsoever.
it?
That
But as you can see, that was in
France.
France. Yeah, but if that was over here, he might not be walking today to somebody.
way.
You know
No
that.
shot.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because
No.
like there are places here that if that happens to you and you kill him, you're going to jail.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, that's true, man. You and to me, it's total self-defense. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I would look at that. I mean, I don't see how else to even look at that. I mean, the dude's running around sticking you with a fucking needle, you know. But anyway, like we're saying, all for fucking views, man. It's crazy,
That's it.
dude. I don't know.
It is. I mean, look what we do every week for views. I mean, Jesus Christ.
we better step our game up because they're poking people with needles in France. So, yeah. Anyway,
Unbelievable, man.
What y'all think about this Kyron Lacey case going down?
Oh, I saw that.
I guess it's not
That
going
was
down
crazy.
anymore, but
what? Yeah,
Sad.
fill me in on that.
so
Like what?
Kyron Lacey was a star wide receiver for LSU.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
Okay.
He
I saw the video.
was charged for hit and run, causing death, basically.
He
Because
offed
witnesses-
himself, right, Justin?
He did. So witnesses
okay.
at the scene said that he was swerving in and out of traffic, and basically he was in the oncoming lane, which caused a truck to slam on his brakes, causing the car behind him to have to yank the wheel into the oncoming lane and went head on with another car and killed one of the occupants. So
Right.
now it's kind of coming out that yes, he was driving like an asshole, right? It's not debated. But he was in between 70 to 90 yards behind the accident when it happened. So he wasn't close to this accident, right? And the driver of the pickup that slammed on his brakes, according to witnesses, says that basically he just slowed down. Like he didn't lock his brakes up or anything like that. So I think it's kind of pointing towards Kyron Lacey was driving like a dick. The truck slowed down. The lady behind the truck wasn't paying the attention she should have. And she didn't see him stopping and had to yank the wheel, which, caused her to go head on with the car. So Kyron Lacey's dead now because in Texas, he was in an argument with his uncle, I believe. And a gunshot wound up going off by Kyron Lacey. He shot into the ground or something like that. Police were called. When they showed up, Kyron Lacey jumped in the car and he took off. Well, he wrecked into the woods, and when the police approached the car, he had a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Damn.
Now, this was 3 days before his trial, so they kind of blamed it on trial coming up, and he killed himself because of that. But he was in a police chase dealing with some other shit. But anyway, so it's kind of back and forth on whether the accident and the death was his fault, right? Because he was in the oncoming lane, passing cars on a double yellow, but he was not super close to oncoming traffic to the point where people had to, skid their tires trying to stop their car to get out the way. Right.
Yeah. From what I saw after all the shit kind of settled yesterday, Ryan Clark, ex-NFL player, has his little podcast, his little show, black guy, super fucking racist, hates fucking white people. Kudos to him,
Nice.
Fuck him, whatever. But so he couldn't wait to jump on this, of course, when that news came out that supposedly the Louisiana State troopers had coerced witnesses to say certain things and that they were basically trying to charge this kid with something he didn't do, and it caused him to kill himself, okay? So he did come out. He started talking about that. Of course, blamed it all on Whitey, Well, then they released another video comes out that shows him going into oncoming traffic, like you stated, and that person having to swerve to get away from him, basically. And when that person swerved, they went into oncoming traffic and hit somebody head on, and there were some casualties. So it kind of came out after that it does look like he was the cause of this chain reaction. So it happened like the evidence was good enough that Pat McAfee talked about it himself on his show. And of course he blasted Louisiana State Police and everybody else that was trying to charge this boy. Well, today he had to come out on his show and basically retract that statement and saying after this further evidence, it looks like he jumped the gun on that and he apologized because it does show that this boy was driving at a high rate of speed in the wrong lane, which caused this car to swerve. So,
Kind of.
that. Oh, I'm just telling you what that people are actually apologizing now after saying,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
shit, yeah, that is what happened." You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah, because like I said, I don't think the lady that swerved and crashed ever saw him, right?
So what did she? What are they saying?
She was the
swerved?
second car in line, right? So they're coming this way. Kyra and Lacey's coming this way.
Right.
There's a silver gold like F-150, and then there's the lady in her car. So that the truck, the pickup truck, was slowing down. It's kind of assumed that it's because he saw Kyra and Lacey in his lane.
Yeah.
And so he was slowing down. The lady behind him, I guess, was going to rear end him. So she yanked the wheel over and swerved into oncoming traffic and hit the other car head on. So I don't
Right.
think she ever saw his car. I think she wasn't paying attention and the truck in front of her was stopping and she yanked the wheel over. Now, was he close enough to cause that pickup truck to hit his brakes and slow down? He was a distance away, but when you're driving on a skinny 2-lane road and you see somebody coming at you head on, that's probably your first instinct is to slow down as much as you safely can,
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all must be talking about a different video than I saw.
Which one are you? We talking about that LSU boy, that LSU
No, I
football.
know what it is.
With the
Yeah.
surveillance
What
video.
video
and the
did
green
you-
Charger.
Yeah.
Why?
I
What
don't
video did you see?
It just
What-
showed, like, it was just part of it, and it just showed him slowing down and then the two cars colliding. That's all
Right.
I saw.
Now that may be the one that everybody saw at first that came
Yeah.
out saying, "Oh
By
shit,
his
something's
lawyer.
wrong." Right. They shouldn't have charged this kid. Well, then the other one comes out and shows his ass hauling ass down the road.
I've never seen that. That's why I was like, yeah, they shouldn't have charged him.
Right, and that's what most of these race baiters that jumped on this so quick didn't see either,
Right.
And i.e. this Ryan Clark, he's a piece of shit, but he was, like I said, one of the most vocal people about it and still hasn't come out and say, "Oh shit, okay, now never mind, I saw the other video," which, like I said, credit to Pat McAfee, he did. He came out and had to admit that he kind of jumped the gun himself. So I don't know. I didn't analyze it that much. I'm just going by what people are saying after they apologize for jumping the
Right.
gun, so I don't know.
And
I mean-
I will get into as well that I guess two things. One, every time they talk about him not being alive it's because they falsely accused him and charged him. But I didn't find out until I was reading on it yesterday that he was involved in a police chase in Texas
Right.
where he fired a firearm after a verbal argument with somebody and then shot himself after he wrecked out in the police chase, right?
I got you.
They don't mention
I
that
got you.
part. So that's
Yeah.
one. Two is they are on the state troopers' asses about this video where they're at silver pickup truck's house trying to get a written statement. And he's basically like, hey, just make sure that you mention yada, 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 this and that, talking about, that you had to hit your brakes real hard. So when that video comes out by itself, it looks like the state trooper is trying to coerce this man into
Yes.
saying, hey, tell these people, write it down that you had to slam on the brakes, da-da-da. But if you listen to the 18-wheelers, the witness on scene, his account, and he had the gold truck's phone number. He had him on the phone talking to the state trooper, but his witness statement was that the gold truck had to lock his brakes up because Kyron Lacey was so close to him and was about to hit him and basically just swerved over in time to miss him, right? And that's what caused the wreck. So when the trooper went to this man's house, he's like, hey, make sure that you add these details. This is what I'm being, told on scene. And, the silver pickup truck was on the cell phone of the 18-wheeler witness at the time the state trooper was there. And he was telling the state trooper all this. And the dude in the pickup never corrected the witness on scene on the phone. Right. So state trooper goes and he's like, look, these are the facts that I've got. That's what everybody's telling me. Make sure that you include these. These are the important details. Not, hey, make sure you lie about this.
Okay. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
the way it
absolutely.
was worded by people that were trying to turn into a cop versus black guy thing was that the state trooper was basically telling a witness what to say. See,
What to say.
that's the
right.
problem with media and these people that want to jump on this shit so fast without paying attention to anything and call everything racism when it comes to law enforcement. That's the story I heard. See, I didn't listen to the video, so when I first saw it, the headline, I'm thinking, damn, that's fucked up that state police did that shit. Fuck them. Now this boy done killed himself. He was facing these charges that he couldn't handle, I guess, mentally. So that was my initial thought too, but I didn't come out on here and start blasting people for it because I didn't know enough about it. So then I start seeing, some prominent people come out with big platforms talking against the state of Louisiana and the police. And I'm like, well, damn. Well, then all of a sudden the next day I'm seeing some of them same people come out and say, oh, wait, never mind. We fucked up. It looks like he was, somewhat at fault for making this car swerve into another lane. So I don't know. So that was kind of where I kind of ended the story. It went from being like, damn, that young man took his own life for nothing to, and I still don't know why. Like, why did they say he, unalived himself, as the pussies have to say on here,
Because he wrecked his car in a police chase.
So that was why. I mean,
he didn't leave a note.
That's what they're figuring, yeah.
Yeah, he was found in the woods in the wrecked car with a gunshot wound to his head.
So either way, it's tragic. No matter what the reason was.
It is,
it's
all the way around.
Now, it was also 2 days before he was to show up in court.
Yeah, so he had a lot of shit on his mind for sure, and because it's not like he meant to cause any harm to anybody that day when he was driving his car like a fool, but shit happens and you do have to pay consequences, and I guess he just wasn't ready to face that. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten away, I guess not gotten away, but I think he would have gotten off of a lot of the charges they had him on.
Yeah.
Had he have made it to trial. But
yeah.
You're also in a position where you're a younger kid, young adult, where you're looking one day, you're looking at making it to the NFL, right? As a allegedly awesome wide receiver.
Sure.
I've never seen his tapes. I've never watched him play, but from what I've heard, he was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So you
go from
you
that.
Just lost everything.
Yeah, everything because of a dumb decision. Yeah. It's a lot of weight to put on. At that point, it's like
even if you're found innocent, like you've seen it time and time again, where people's lives are ruined even after charges are dropped. Because for one, you've missed a ton of football because LSU doesn't want to be associated with you in case you're found guilty. Your sponsors don't want to be associated with you in case you're found guilty. So you're not playing that whole time. You got to take a year, 2 years, whatever off of football. Well, now you're out of shape. I'm sure you're stressed out, not working out the whole time. So are you going to make it back into prime football playing shape to get back into college to get drafted into the NFL again? Probably not.
No. Yeah, I think it's life-changing for sure compared to the path he was on. It wasn't a good change, and that's a lot of weight on a young person's shoulders. And if they're not in the right mind to handle that, shit like what he did happens, like I said, it's tragic all the way around. The young man didn't mean to kill anybody, but he did, and it looked like he was going to be in a little trouble for that. And then, as you mentioned, probably ruined any chance he had to excel anymore in football. And I'm sure that was his lifelong dream as a child, and it just gets yanked from you because of a dumb decision. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to deal with at those ages,
Matt, no, I don't think anybody called you a
wasn't.
pussy. I don't think so. I think we're just talking about just population in general, buddy.
No, yeah. No, I wouldn't call. I was just saying how people, you got to say unalive or some shit on these platforms now, or you get in trouble. Yeah, I meant the people behind the scenes, the algorithm, so to say. Yeah, no, I wouldn't call anybody watching this a pussy. Come on, we love you guys. Matter of fact, if you are checking us out right now and you hadn't subscribed yet, please do that. We'd appreciate it. And it's what we do every week. Go live, talk some shit. Moose.
I heard moose are big, dude.
A moose knuckle.
Big old
no,
moose knuckle.
they're monsters, dude. They're monsters.
Yeah, they
for
are.
Sure. But speaking of shit going on in Louisiana, after that LSU tragedy, they caught that last escaped inmate. I seen.
Sure
yeah,
did.
over there in
Atlanta.
ATL. Yeah, he was over there. I didn't think he'd get away forever. I was surprised he made it that long, man. That was a long time on the run.
Said he was in.
You
some
saw how
hidden
smug
room in
he
a
was,
crawl
dude?
Space.
He was. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Justin. He was what?
He was like in a hidden room in a crawl space.
Crawl
in
space,
that fucking
yeah.
house. Yeah.
Like when he was just hiding from them, or that's where he was kind of laid up at. For
I
the
guess
most
that's
part?
when he was hiding, like when they went to
Yeah.
raid the house, like
He
they found
he
him
had a
in
little
some
spot.
retrofitted crawl space or some shit.
Was it family he was with?
They haven't said.
Let's find out. Derek Groves, the last of 10 prisoners who had been on the run since escaping jail nearly 5 months ago, was captured. A residence in the ATL. Blah, blah, blah. Fair said a tip called into Crime Stoppers, along with the follow-up investigation work, ultimately led to Groves' arrest in Atlanta. Okay, I just want to know who he was shacked up with. Brad, who was he shacked up with?
I think it was a vacant house, dude. I think it was being
bando?
renovated or no. I think it was being renovated or something,
he was,
man.
He was squatting.
Yeah.
He was squatting, dude.
Yeah, he was squatting. Nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
right?
You seen his like smug attitude, dude, when they arrested him, dude? He like blew a kiss at the camera.
No, I didn't see that. Damn,
You didn't see
far
that?
with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
He was one of the gunmen who opened fire with an AK-47 style assault rifle.
Yeah.
They love that term, assault rifle.
So
On what should have been a joyous Mardi Gras family gathering. This asshole decided to pull out an AK-47 and was found guilty. 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. And so he sounded like a upstanding citizen. He is now back in custody. So good on the U.S. Marshals. But like I said, I was totally shocked it took that long to catch that dude. I mean, but I think you were saying, Justin, I think you were telling me a while back that he didn't really, I don't even know how else to put it. I don't want to sound, blatantly racist, but if you live in New Orleans, you'll know what I'm talking about. Most of us and people that live in New Orleans have a certain way of speaking and an accent, where they don't typically blend in around parts of the country where people might speak well. Wasn't that you telling me that he kind of, he didn't sound like the typical gangster you would expect from the New Orleans area?
Yeah, they said it didn't sound like your normal thug you'll run across. Like he was apparently very well spoken. He was a good manipulator.
He didn't excel in ebonics is the best way to put it.
Right.
Yeah,
so he was able to blend in. Yeah, which I don't know if they're much better in Atlanta, but I'm with you. It was, I guess that's not what you're listening for, or even it wouldn't draw your attention to say, hey, this guy's could be an escaped convict, because he's talking proper. And
they were like, if you think it's him and you decide I'm going to hold a conversation with him, he's not going to sound like a prison escapee.
Yeah, how do you say that?
Right.
Like, how do you? I don't even know how you word that without sounding like a blatant racist. You don't talk black, But let's hey, look, it is what it is down here in the South, man. We got our own way of speaking, and they are butcher that shit in New Orleans, the English language, dude. They
chop
destroy
it up.
Yeah, so like if you hear a typical, person from New Orleans, man, it's like, oh yeah, he's,
I feel like it gets worse the farther south and fucking west you go, dude. Like I heard an interview with Coach O.
Oh my God!
What the fuck is he saying?
He is the stereotype of what they were going after on The Waterboy. At Adam Sandler movie, man. That old man, you couldn't understand nothing he was fucking saying,
No.
And that's that's deep down in them Cajun. It's weird. We got so many different accents in one state over here. You got people that speak that Cajun you can barely understand. And then, you got a lot of redneck twang, which they accuse us of having on the show. I don't hear it, but maybe we do.
Me neither. No.
But some of them are like real redneck, in some parts of Louisiana.
That's right. That's redneck. So exactly.
It's crazy. So they caught him. Another feel-good story. Disgraced middle school teacher who repeatedly, I don't know how you say the R word, a 15-year-old girl, repeatedly did this to this young lady. He was killed in prison by another convicted murderer. Nice. So that's our feel-good story of the night.
He was unalived, right?
He was unalived. Yeah.
Right.
I
Let's
guess-
get it right. Let's make sure. Yeah. Well, gotta
They just
be a
gave him some
PC,
extra
babe.
breathing holes, dude.
That's all they did. Yeah, they needed to help him.
Yeah.
With his.
Yeah, he was like
his
60
breathing.
years old, wasn't he, dude? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Dude? When he's 60, yeah.
I think so.
I hope
yeah.
it was painful.
I want to see. I'm gonna pull up the article. I want to see how he did it because there is no better justification because
None at all.
you can't be running around doing that shit to people and then you still get to breathe air. It's just not.
Right.
Middle school gym teacher who described himself as a pig before being jailed for repeatedly R-wording a 15-year-old girl was unalived. I'm trying to get all these terms down.
You got to get
Unalived.
PC, dude. Yeah, you got to get
By
PC, dude.
Well, and the funny thing, we're streaming on Rumble right now. Rumble probably don't give a shit, but
No.
over here on the YouTube, we gotta behave. I
Rumble's
guess I don't
probably
know.
downvoting us because of the fucking
It's like, no,
Right.
you. What are you doing?
Wait, what?
But so anyway, he was killed by
So
another
true.
inmate. North Carolina cell Sunday. Let's see. He was convicted, sentenced 15 years behind bars. He was originally arrested. Blah blah. I want to see. Nah, they ain't gonna give me no good details. Damn it. He was.
He was probably stabbed.
Kudos to this guy. He's a hero, man. He's a fellow inmate. Wilbert Baldwin. Shouts out to Wilbert.
Wait,
already
wait,
serving
wait.
Oh, yeah,
What
Wilbert.
did he do?
Well, he
should've
was
gotten
serving.
parole.
He was serving a life sentence for second-degree murder. But
Yeah,
Hey.
well,
If
that
he killed a
happens.
pedophile, good.
there you go. He repented.
They
Yeah.
cancel
That's-
out, you know? It's
Yeah,
like, it's,
that's
Yeah.
better.
what do they
That's
call
better
it?
than 7 Hail Marys. That's
Yeah.
What's
that's
the new
good.
math? That's Common Core, dude.
That's
They
Common
cancel
Core,
out,
dude.
you know?
Hopefully, the parole board will take that into consideration when he comes
Yeah.
up for parole after his life sentence.
Right.
So
Oh,
Matt
man.
wants to know what Mardi Gras is. He said he's not from here.
Man,
Mardi Gras,
Ooh,
man.
What isn't Mardi
I
Gras?
don't,
My
I don't
God.
celebrate it, but yeah, I just, I don't like it.
I like
but
the
yeah.
day off at work.
Titties and beads, dude.
Titties and beads. That's
Beads.
all it's about. They honestly, that's where I caught that at. That's the kind of dumb shit they're throwing off of the flow. I don't know. They may take the stream down now because I'm showing.
It's a
My
stress
bad.
ball, man.
No,
little
they
stress
can't.
ball. But yeah, Mardi Gras is just another animal, man. It's about the only thing we got going on over here, to bring tourists besides the good food, but
Yeah, the
much.
food is something. Yeah.
We were talking about these dumbass kids and their social medias.
boy, they're full of them, huh?
Did you see the Dollar General employee that decided he was going to try his life hack that he saw on Reddit?
No, what life hack was
He
this?
part of r/life hacks or some shit, and so he worked at Dollar General. So the life hack was on how to make money, right?
Okay.
And the way to do that is anytime you check somebody out, if they're not buying food and they're not buying alcohol,
Right.
you can, everybody says, no, I don't want a receipt. I'm good. Well, you keep that receipt, right? And then you wait, 4-6 weeks, and then you scan the receipt in as a return. And it's free money. Life hack.
So, all right. I'm trying to follow this because I want to try it. So,
you have to
explain
work
it.
at Dollar General for
So-
one.
Okay, well, I'll apply tomorrow. They'll hire me,
Okay.
dude. I got a good
Fair enough.
resume.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no felonies. I'm good, so I can work there. Now, what do I have to do again? Break it
All right,
down.
so you're Dollar General clerk. I'm a customer,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I walk in. I
Well,
buy.
yeah. I'm usually stocking a shelf because they're never at the fucking register when you need them. So I'll be off in the back somewhere doing something. So you'll have to.
So I'm
look
gonna
for
ring the
me.
bell, a bunch
Yeah.
of times. Ding, 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 ding. And
Got
you're gonna
it.
come up. You're gonna ring me up. I'm buying shampoo. I'm buying bleach. I'm buying, just anything non-perishable.
Anything
Whatever.
but food.
Anything
okay.
but food. Okay. And then, I'm gonna say, no, I don't need my receipt. I'm good. It's just trash. It's gonna go on the floor, whatever. So you keep the receipt, right? You bring it home.
Okay, I see. So the employee kept the receipt,
Yep.
and
You give it about 4 weeks. Let the heat die down. All right. You come back to work. Manager's in the back doing manager shit. And then you scan the receipt as a return, and you return the whole balance to yourself. Cash,
thought-
card, whatever.
Oh, dude,
And who
that's
thought-
genius, dude.
But,
That
like,
is
honestly-
I'm going to get a job tomorrow there, dude.
who thought
somewhere.
that was going to work? That was the best plan
Yeah.
an employee could come up with.
No, he didn't come up with it. It was r/life hacks.
Yeah.
It was a
okay.
Reddit life hack, dude.
That's awesome.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I don't plan
So
on
I
working at
saw
Dollar
that
General.
short today. It was actually police body cam when they were interviewing him in the manager's office.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well,
Wow.
I didn't see that. Well, breaking news, stranger beaten to death on New York subway by David Mazarigo. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he had 33 previous arrests, so great for New York and their prosecuting team over there. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that every time something like that happens and you see the arrest record of these people, I mean, I don't know what you have to do in a state like that to be locked up.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's always like he's been arrested 57 times for beating old women.
It's crazy and it's like what do you have to do in those type of places to really be locked up and taken off the fucking streets? I mean, it I don't know. It's crazy, man. I don't know why they look at this like they're doing a good thing by having these revolving doors in these jails, and it's like, what is that doing for the community? Matter of fact, the Democratic mayor, he was up there giving some kind of press conference or some shit. Well, the reporter got on his ass, and the reporter was asking him a simple question. They had an illegal alien that assaulted a woman, bashed her head on the sidewalk, and R-worded her. Okay, so this reporter asked him, the fucking Democratic mayor who allows these criminals to run free like that, simply asked him, if that had been your wife, would you want ICE to have deported that illegal person?
Right.
He couldn't answer. He refused to answer the question. Refused to answer it. And to me, it was a great question. Had this happened to somebody in your family, you being one of the people that stand behind these defund the police, calls, and these DAs that are in there that refuse to hold people accountable for crimes, I think the problem is that people like him, that mayor, it doesn't affect them. Right. They don't live amongst the chaos that they're creating. And, of course, they escorted this fucking reporter out of there. And I'm thinking, that's a damn good question. Had that been your wife, got her head bashed into the sidewalk and raped, would you think different? And, basically, I'm not going to do this or whatever. And I'm thinking, what?
Of course.
Answer the question, you piece of shit, But it's people like him that allow somebody with 33 arrests to be back out on the streets assaulting people. And I don't know what the driving force is behind that kind of thinking. It's hard not to believe there's some sort of malice intent behind it, because
I think it's votes.
But who's voting for that?
People.
I'm with you. I apparently it's a political move, but it's like, who in their right mind is voting for that? Who wants that in their community?
I think if you're on that left side, you either are a victim, or you think that anybody that's arrested for any crime is a victim, right?
Right.
So that's your two voting parties that you have to cater to. So, as long as you're saying that, criminals are good and victims are probably the criminal, then you're going to catch those votes.
Yeah, I guess, man. It's I don't know. It's a weird way of thinking, a weird way of living, and it's just hard to believe that there's not a bigger plan behind allowing these communities to be run down like that. Now, I haven't figured out what
when you don't have
that
to live
benefits. There. Well, right. That's true. That's true. But if you represent something, wouldn't you just out of pride want to say, hey, look what I did for the community? Like I always say, that's one of Trump's driving forces is his fucking ego. So he wants to be the best at everything. Some people call it a fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say, hey, if that's what makes him do a good job, fuck it, let him have his ego. But you would think anything, if they give me the option to run a city, a state, anything, a school, I want to do the best I can do because it reflects back on me. Like, I don't want people walking around saying, look at this shithole. Like, my God, you see what Shane did? What the fuck?
Yep.
There's people dying everywhere, drugs all over, rampant, people, shitting all over the streets. But these people just don't care for some reason.
Well, I think that's the problem is as soon as any of them, if you were running for the Liberal Party and you were in any liberal city and you're like, all right, I'm coming in, y'all need to vote for me. I'm going to clean this place up. We're going to stop the crime. These criminals are going to go to jail. You're racist.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
To a degree. Yeah.
I guess, but and I get what you're saying, that if you go in there and start running on anything different than fuck the police, then you're probably not going to win in those type of districts. But it had to have not always been like that. You know what I mean? Like I guess they did a good job at training those type of communities to believe that the police are so bad that you don't want them around, nor do you want any kind of law and order at all.
Right.
Like, but even so, okay, so say you got that mentality of fuck the police. Do you still want violent fucking criminals running around the streets with the threat of assaulting any of your loved ones? You know what I mean? You would think still
not,
as a
but
person living around there, you would be like, I don't really like this, you know?
For whatever, I don't know what they think the fix is, but apparently the police is not that. You know, it's
No,
like, we don't want the criminals, but we don't want the cops. And it's like, then what do you want?
I mean, that's like,
you know,
that's as bad as them fighting back with Trump trying to send in, help to some of these places.
Exactly.
They don't want it. They don't fucking
racist.
want it.
Yeah, but the National Guard, it's racist.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it went any deeper than that. Like, I
don't think it does from the public.
Right. Because I know George Soros' names comes up in all of these areas. He's usually dumping in a ton of money to help get these certain people elected. And all these people that get elected that were sponsored, so to say, by George Soros or his money, they all lean a certain way, which is no law and order. People not being held accountable for the dumb shit that they do in public. And I don't know why anybody would be behind that unless they're trying to destroy something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's not that deep, but it just seems like it's all purposely
I think it's
done.
just different shit right now, honestly. I think all the time it's different. Like right now, I think any of it that you're seeing, like with the National Guard and these governors and mayors fighting it, right? I think that's more of just vote for me. I fought Trump.
Yeah.
Right. I fought Trump for y'all.
Yeah. It's a big part of it. You're right. Trump says law and order. They say, no, fuck that. We don't need that.
And then they can say, look, we didn't have National Guard here because I fought Trump.
Yeah. Because you're right. If Trump was sitting there and say, look, I refuse to allow National Guard to go in and help those cities, they'd be fucking sitting there the next day having press conferences saying the president refuses to help us get our communities safe and and shit like that.
Double-edged sword, dude.
So you're right. I mean, I think it is a lot of it's just to say, fuck Trump and his, or just the Republicans in general, anything they stand for, we're against.
Right.
And all it does is ruin a community.
It does.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy to have that kind of mindset just because your politics don't align with one side. And look, I get why the politicians do it. I just don't get why you as a community member are okay with that. I don't want to live in a place where I can't even, let my kids or my wife go to the fucking store without, worrying every minute that they're gone. Like, I just don't. I don't know. It just blows my mind. I guess you got to think like them fools to understand it, but I sure don't. I mean,
I sent you a link in the private chat since we're speaking about law and order and liberal places. This video's out of California. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
let me see it. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up on the big screen here.
Big screen.
Hold on a second.
Bear with us, chat.
Yeah, we coming, bro. I'm coming. We need a new producer. He's slacking.
I know.
He's slacking. Yeah. All right. Is it up?
Yep. Make it full screen.
Oh, they even got a nice fire little track behind it. Which I better mute that because they'll hit us for a copyright strike if that's somebody's. So what did they? Okay, it's
a jewelry store in California.
Yeah. I mean, look,
it's mobbed it, dude.
Bro, the people, they're probably hungry, dude. They're probably hungry. So, I mean, what else better to get when you're starving than some jewelry?
Right.
You know what I mean? Look, you got to understand, dude. You got to understand. And if you don't understand, you're racist. It's that simple. If you don't want this going on in your community, you don't like black people, dude. And that's just all there is to it.
Fair enough. That's it.
It's that simple.
Look how many there are, dude.
I know, dude. Like, they don't even
Broad
give a
daylight,
fuck,
don't
man.
give a
See,
none.
that is all because of no accountability.
Yep.
There's no
Right.
fear. I mean, it's like, look at them. Just like, dude, a pack of wild fucking animals, man. It's crazy.
I mean, we've seen it working out in New Orleans, 2:00 in the afternoon. People driving into the parking lot to break into your cars, like
Yeah.
2:00.
Yeah. Just like,
I remember watching it on the cameras and being like, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
God, it's crazy, dude. It's
What are we
crazy.
doing?
for
Hey,
sure.
Brad.
Hey,
Hello.
Brad. Brad's like, hey, I'm front and center. So anyway, yeah, it's just nuts, and I've always tried to wrap my brain around what entices people to want to live in communities like that, and I can't get a good answer besides
I don't get it.
people trying to destroy the fabric of America for one reason or another. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like I said, a lot of it is tied back to this Soros guy, which apparently he just cannot stand America being prosperous for some reason. I don't know what his deal is, but he's always linked to all of this nonsense going on.
Everything.
With these fucking DAs in these blue cities, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of people dig into that, and start going down these rabbit holes, and it could be as simple as what you're saying, Justin, that it's just a political move, that whatever the one side says, whether it's we need more cops, the other side's going to say we don't need any cops, And I think that it could be that simple,
Yeah.
It's
I like
just,
Sean's comment. So when someone calls me racist, I hear them calling me common sense.
Well, and look,
True.
It's a shame to say, but yeah, I mean, it's like common sense to me. I don't want to live in the inner city where that video we just watched, where shit like that happens on a regular basis.
True.
Now, in order to do that, you got to move away from them type of people. What do they
Right.
call you? Oh, you're racist. You don't want to live by them
Racist.
people? Like, no, I don't. And if that was a group of Oriental people doing that, I wouldn't want to live by them either. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it is what it
And-
is.
They also bitch that, now our community doesn't have any stores. There's no stores that want to build here. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
I
everybody's
guarantee that jewelry
pulling
store,
out,
You
right.
think he wants to fucking reopen now? He just
Yeah,
lost
right.
$1 million worth of fucking inventory.
Yeah, me
It
and Brad were
wouldn't
talking
makes
about
them wanna
that.
Stay there.
We were talking about that earlier today. Brad and I were about how running a store, like a corner store somewhere in New Orleans area or any of these inner cities where all that's happening. And it's like, how do you run anything in an environment like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
How does any store function
Right.
where people just come in and think your shit's theirs and they don't give a fuck? You know what I mean?
They
It's
give no
like,
fuck.
and then when the stores are gone, all of a sudden the community's in an uproar.
Yep.
Right.
All of a sudden it's
true.
racism, and they don't want to open businesses around here, and we need jobs and whatever else they fucking cry about in those inner cities when people start leaving. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't imagine even thinking about opening up a business in an area like that. And at least
Absolutely
down
not.
here, there is consequences for your actions down here, but New Orleans is a big city, so shit happens. Bad shit happens. And if somewhere like California, if they were to arrest those people that did that, they may be in there for a half hour and then they're back on the fucking streets, and then they probably, don't even have a court date after that. It's like, it's never ending over there, man. It's like, we're not going to prosecute them. That's not that bad of a crime. It's not that big a deal. That's what, I seen somebody, one of them Democrat freaking, I don't know if it was a DA or a sheriff or something of some, town, but he was a Democrat, and they had arrested somebody for stealing or whatever it was, burglary or something. And of course he's like, let's not, jump to judgment. He may have been hungry. And I'm thinking, is that what we're going with now?
Yeah.
So
Right.
instead of, doing like everybody else and trying to earn some money and go buy some fucking food, and worst case scenario, go get some with your government assistance that every fucking state offers. Now we're going to excuse burglary and crimes because he might be hungry, and that's
Right.
that's another one of where their mindset is. And I just don't see how the community thinks that's beneficial, man.
Yeah, because I mean, that makes people that don't want their houses burglarized move the fuck out. They're like, well,
Exactly.
people aren't going to go to jail if they break into my shit, so I'm going to
I
go
don't wanna
somewhere
be
where
here.
they do, So then you've got
Right.
vacant houses. You know, and then jobs are going down. No stores can stay open.
Well,
there's no employees. And then it's a snowball.
That's basically what happened in New Orleans in the 1980s. You know, they called it the Great White Flight. Everybody who did not want to be a part of that bullshit anymore basically got out of there. It was getting so bad with the crime. And all it did, for the most part, was leave people that didn't mind that lifestyle. Right. You know, and I'm not saying everybody over there is still, but some people are just, you know, in a situation they may not be able to get out of. But every neighborhood's run down now, you know what I mean? Because anybody that had the means to get the fuck out got out, or they figured out a way. You know what I mean? And it was, honestly, it was called the Great White Flight, man, because just about everybody in that inner city that wasn't a minority got the fuck out of there, you know? And it makes you want to do that, just like you said. Like, why would you want to live around that? So if my house is getting broken into and the cops are like, well, I don't know, we'll be there if we can get there. Well, fuck, I don't want to live around that. And that's how that shit is in New Orleans. And Brad, you can talk from firsthand experience because you know people behind the scenes over there in OPD, the New Orleans Police Department, and they'll tell you, if it's not like a major call, there's some nights where they won't even respond purposely. No. They don't have the manpower.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, when they come on duty, man, they're 40, 50, 60 calls back. And if it's not an emergency, they're not catching it. You know, God forbid, man, if you have an auto wreck. I mean, I remember back in the 90s, man, I had a wreck in New Orleans. Dude, it took 4 to 5 hours for a cop to show up and write the report. You know, it just, and so it's been going on that long. It's nothing new. This is all the same shit, you know.
Justin had his car stolen. It took a year to get the report. And it was only because we knew somebody
you knew.
That had to make a phone call that knew somebody. I mean, he was never going to get this report for his fucking car being stolen in New Orleans, you know. That's how bad places like that are.
I got into an accident off of Almanester. Them cops were there in like 4 minutes.
Well, you were lucky, honestly, because I mean,
you were very lucky.
The citizens over there will even tell you that, we called the police. There was a shooting on our street. They never showed up, or they showed up 5 hours later.
No, we see it all the time at work. Half the time,
it's crazy.
The cops never showed up,
and it's like and it's like Brad said though. There's a lack of officers. You know, I mean, they just don't have enough of them, and the ones that are there are like, I ain't getting caught up in this bullshit. I'm just riding out my time. You know,
Yep. Because they ask you when you call out there, they're like, "Is anybody currently in danger?"
You better start saying yeah.
You better say yes.
You better start saying yeah, because I mean, if it's not super important, man, I mean, cops in a lot of cities, and it's probably like that around the country in inner cities that are, that are defunded when it comes to the police departments, and it's all run by fucking idiots, and that's what you get, man. That's what you get.
Chicago wouldn't even show up to the calls from help from ICE.
No, I saw that. Yeah,
so
I've seen that.
They definitely ain't showing up for you.
I know. I think where was that they? Damn it! They were talking about not allowing ICE to come in certain areas or something in their city. Where was that at? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it here.
Dude, I think that was Chicago, wasn't
it?
Mayor Johnson, dude, was like, wasn't he trying to create like federal free zones or some shit like that?
Yeah, then that's that same idiot that wouldn't answer that question about if that was his wife getting her head bashed in. How would he feel about these illegals?
Exactly.
So that's that same dumbass then, and federal free. Now, somebody made a point that, suppose we're just going to make a federal free where the IRS can't come in that area. You know what I mean? You think that would fly? Not at all. You know what I mean?
No.
So how can this asshole, it's like, matter of fact, it was Matt Walsh who said it, what would happen if the mayor announced that he was setting up IRS free zones where businesses and individuals would be exempt from all federal taxes, and any IRS agents who come to collect would be barred from the premises. How quickly after that announcement would the mayor be in handcuffs and sitting in a prison cell? But yet, like you said, that was him. I'm looking at the video now of Mayor Brandon Johnson. He's got these ice-free zones, and it's like and for what? Like they're trying to do their job. You've got these illegal people over here. That's not all of them are, but there's a group of them that are up to no good over here. Right. Like the one that assaulted that woman on the sidewalk, and this asshole wants no help at all in cleaning up that part of the problem in his city. And man, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get
What
it,
up,
man.
Skate?
Big Skate's back in the house.
Go ahead.
I kind of like that, though. I think I'm going to make my house an ATF free zone.
Just do it.
And
yeah, I
just
mean,
do
what
what
are they
I
going to do?
Over here.
What are they going to do?
Just be like,
Mine is
read
gonna
the
be
sign,
a bill
buddy.
free.
Read
Bill
the
free?
sign.
Yeah, Kristen's got a bill-free home, so that's
Bill
cool.
free, tax
Yeah.
free. Right. Exactly, dude. Yeah,
That's good.
I'm in.
Yeah. Man, I seen what is it? College student burned alive after Tesla Cybertruck doors malfunctioned, trapped her inside following a crash. Boy, that is a major lawsuit.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. I wanted to look at this. It says Minnesota man, 22 years old, posed as a teen to enroll in high school and play for football team. And he did it.
Jesus. And
He used a false identity, lied about his age to enroll in a Minnesota high school and join the football team. Of course, the students are claiming the district failed them. But, I mean, I guess if he's got a fake ID and all the documentation, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you really stop that. I mean,
I don't know.
and
It's
a
like,
letter
give
to the
that kid a
parents.
scholarship.
Yeah, the principal stated that an individual over the age of 21 had evaded the district security measures to become a student at the school. Upon our initial investigation, we have determined that while enrolling this individual, we followed our enrollment process, which is as rigorous as the state allows. So apparently they did everything they could. I'm trying to see how he got outed. The student also revealed that he was on the football team's roster. Yeah, I don't know. They don't really say. But anyway, so I was like, oh, well, I mean, maybe one of us can try that. Justin, you ought to try it. Kristen, you try. You're the youngest of the group. See if you can get back in school. Would you want to if you could? Oh, come on now. You hated school that much?
No, I did not like being in school.
Man. Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, I ain't trying to sneak back in it.
No.
You know?
No, definitely not.
Trying to sneak back in school once you're
That's
out.
crazy.
Yeah. So anyway.
I'd probably get put in special ed.
Yeah, did y'all see that? Brad, you probably know. I don't even know, Justin, if he played when you were kind of paying attention to football with that Mark Sanchez, that ex-quarterback.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's in some trouble. Huh?
Oh, my God, man. You see that shit?
Yeah.
He was, he was an analyst on, I guess, I don't know, it was Fox Sports or whatever he was on.
That guy.
He ain't an analyst no more.
No,
I mean,
he's
he
not.
beat the piss out of this dude, and it was all over looked like a parking dispute or something. It was a delivery guy. And I mean, I'm not going to pull up the pictures because they're pretty graphic, but man, he fucked this dude up. And then he got stabbed in the process and wound up in the damn hospital. Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm thinking, what the fuck was going through his mind? You talk about lose everything you work for.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's in some trouble now because, I mean, honestly, if you see this old man that he beat up, you could almost throw attempted murder charges at this dude.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, his face is slashed wide open and bruises. And, I mean, it's pretty bad, man.
Why did he
beat
do
this
that?
dude up? I think he was drunk. They said he was on something. And
Said he doesn't remember it, huh?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's everybody's going to say when they beat up a fucking 78-year-old man, but you know, whatever he was, I'm saying 78. He's an older gentleman for sure.
He was in his 70s. I remember that.
Yeah, I can tell just by looking at the pictures. But they said he was 69 years old. He was allegedly assaulted, by Mark Sanchez, and former Jets quarterback has been pictured bloody and battered in his hospital bed. A grisly photo showed the alleged victim, who reportedly got in an altercation with him shortly after midnight on Saturday morning. He was wearing a neck brace covered in blood. Yeah, the pictures are pretty rough, man. But I was trying to think. I think he was over. Yeah, he was a grease truck driver. He had reportedly parked his truck in an alley while he was collecting cooking oil from a nearby hotel when Sanchez approached him. And, he didn't have his hearing aids on, they said, because his truck is very loud when he's exchanging the frying oil for the hotel. So he had to lean in close to hear what Mr. Sanchez was saying to him. And apparently that's when, the altercation happened. So, yeah, so
I saw him
he
call it a parking dispute, but he was parked in an alleyway doing his job.
Right.
So
yeah,
I'm
they
like,
said
what kind of parking dispute was there?
Yeah, he approached the driver, meaning Sanchez. He approached the driver. He tried to get him to move, and eventually they got into, a little altercation, a verbal thing back and forth. Well, then this Sanchez picks this old man up and kind of slams him on the ground. Well, then the driver got it. He slammed, pepper sprayed him. That didn't work. So then he pulled out a knife, and he stabbed him 2 or 3 times in the chest. And then somehow he got cut in the process. And it was just a crazy thing for a guy the size of Mark Sanchez. I mean, he was an NFL quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a big boy. And I don't know what the hell went through his mind, but you talk about your career being done.
Did the old man survive?
Oh, yeah. He's alive. It's just he was, telling his side of the story, but he got fucked up pretty bad. And, I hope he, sues this asshole for everything he's got. I mean, you can't just walk
He probably
around
will.
assaulting 70-year-old men like that because you're drunk. The man was working.
6'2", 235 pounds.
Big boy. I mean, it's not like he's, a giant, but that's a big old boy to be, fucking with a 69-year-old man that's just out there trying to work. I mean,
trying to make a living.
Well, like I said, he's
That's
lucky he
sad.
don't get charged with attempted murder.
I hope he gets beat up in prison.
He'll probably want his autograph and shit. What up?
Better be holding some pockets.
What about the white teacher who decided to sing, you look like a monkey and you smell like one too, to the black kid? I mean,
What?
you didn't see that story?
No.
The white teacher.
I heard about it.
She was singing happy birthday to a student of hers. It was a 6-year-old
Yeah.
girl. Or a girl or boy. I don't know what it was. I
It was a
can't
girl.
tell by the picture. A girl, yeah. Well, the girl was black, of course. Well, she sang happy birthday to her the normal way. And now she's recording this.
Mhm.
And she said, now do you want me to sing the funny version that I know? And the kids were like, yeah, whatever. So she said, happy birthday to you. You look like a monkey. You live in a zoo. Whatever the fuck that
It
thing
was the
goes,
Madagascar
Right.
I've heard that
version.
before, though.
Yes.
It was on
Yeah.
Madagascar.
Well, it was
Yeah.
on that. And we've said that. I mean, it's been before, man. It's always been a thing. Well,
Yeah.
of course, that got back to the parent because I think from what I was reading, she recorded it to send to the mother to say, hey, look, we sung her happy birthday, no ill intent. Well, of course, that's the worst thing that ever could have happened in this kid's
Absolutely.
life. After the mother decides to tell the child, hey, you're traumatized, right? Because this kid didn't think nothing of that. She's 6 years old. But now the mama's got her all over the news and, everywhere anybody she can talk to, telling the, how just, oh my God, how devastating this is. And I'm thinking, you're making the child feel a certain way now. That child didn't think nothing of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But everybody's got that victim mentality. Like this teacher would have really done that to be racist and record it.
And then
send
send
it
it
to
to the
you.
mother.
Yes. I mean, come on, man.
No, she probably didn't realize.
No, she didn't realize it. It's just somebody wanting a lawsuit. They're going to sue the school district. That's coming, man. That's crazy. So anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh Lord, is that where we're going now? I mean, it's like, you had to, like I said, she had to let that child know, hey, you're supposed to be upset by this. The child don't know. I mean, all that shit. Now, granted, if I'm the teacher, I mean, let's face it, you should know better than using monkey in the same sentence when addressing a black person, honestly. It's going to be looked at in a certain light. It's going to be like, okay, that's a little awkward. You probably should leave that out. I would think the teacher would have known better that people were going to kind of hear that and be like, okay, that's a little, odd.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
she apparently didn't think nothing of it. And now her ass will probably be fired and the school will be sued. And hey, there'll be a happy mom. She'll get her little $50,000 lawsuit, go buy her some new J's or whatever she's going to buy with them. There you go. She go get her Challenger, a nice used Ultima. There, y'all need to stop.
Ultima.
Y'all
Yeah.
gotta stop. So, all right, let's wrap it up. It's 10:20. I am tired of talking to y'all. I am getting
Yes.
off of here. BSing with the guys. We thank y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't done it. We will be
Please.
back next week, same time, same place. Y'all behave. Peace.
Later.
Straight from the swamps of southern Louisiana. Straight from the swamps. Straight from the swamps.